Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been quite a while since I posted to this channel, but we recently had the release of Call of Duty Vanguard. Got to play it opening weekend, had a really good time with it, and I could definitely see myself posting some videos on this game. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're jumping into Vanguard, and we're more specifically talking about how to grind camos most effectively, and we're talking about camos for ARs, as over the opening weekend I was able to get gold on my STG probably within 10 hours of playtime. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is best practices to unlock gold quickly for your ARs in Call of Duty Vanguard. Alrighty guys, so this is the STG44. This is probably going to be the meta AR in Call of Duty Vanguard. Really is a great weapon as far as ARs go. This is the particular build that once I leveled it up to level 70 that I like to use. The time to kill on it is super fast. I'm not sure if anything is going to be nerfed in any updates, but as of right now, this thing absolutely wrecks. It's a great AR. So these are the parts I like to use, and as you can see, we do have the gold mastery camo on it, which looks really nice. It's actually grown on me quite a bit, but so going into acquiring the mastery camo, so like other Call of Duty games, in order to get gold, you have to complete all 10 camo challenges, and then in order to get diamond, you have to do all those. You have to acquire gold for 7 ARs. I don't know if it's all 7. I forget how many ARs there are in this game. And so on to the atomic camo, which you have to get diamond for all weapon classes. But going into acquiring gold for your ARs, so I kind of have a little bit of a list for acquiring these camos. As far as some of these go, we have the Pro Tactics, Surgical Camo, Predatory Ambition, Reptilian. These are all camos that I would say you naturally acquire just from using the weapon. And I have also a second category where I call them like strategic camos, where you have to play a certain way to really get these camos unlocked effectively. And then there's another category which I call like loadout category of camos, which you have to have a certain build on your weapon to acquire these camos. So jumping into them, Pro Tactics is pretty self-explanatory. It's just eliminations. In order to unlock all of these, you're going to need to get 400 eliminations with this weapon. So pretty easy. It's all that's going to take is just time using this particular weapon, or whichever one you're trying to grind. Surgical is going to be headshots, and in my opinion, that's another one that's just kind of naturally obtained. So while you're getting your limbs, you're also going to be probably getting quite a few headshots, and that'll unlock all these surgical camos. And you're going to need 100 headshots, which isn't too bad. Predatory Ambition, this is multi-kills. And opposed to Black Ops Cold War, the multi-kills requirement that you needed in that quite a bit further down the line. So luckily this is unlocked pretty quickly, and you're available to do this camo challenge. This one's pretty easy. My only tips for multi-kills is just kind of playing the lanes of the maps a little bit more strategic. Where you get a lot of traffic moving through. That's a good spot to post up on some sort of heady and try and get the most multi-kills. Smaller maps too can help quite a bit, where players tend to stack up. So I always recommend stuff like maps like the house, or any spot where there's just a little bit more traffic on the map that's a little bit more congested is always a good way to go. But this is actually a really easy challenge, especially with the STG. It's only 50 multi-kills required to unlock all of those. Reptilian, this one for me, just because the way I play, I don't always get a very high amount of kill streaks. This is bloodthirsty, so you need to get 5 kills without dying. You need to do that 30 times, which isn't too bad. This is something else I feel like you could naturally obtain just by playing. If you're like me, you might have to play a little bit more passive and just hold certain areas to get those 5 kill streaks. That one's pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy to run. Alright, moving into the next category where I was talking about strategic camos. I feel like this is kind of one that fits into that category. That is the Deadeye camos. This is long shots, so you definitely have to play a little bit different. in my opinion, you just try to have to find certain areas on certain maps where there's some very good long range potential, where you might have a lot of enemies coming out of spawn, you know, moving down a certain lane that can get you some long shot kills. And luckily they're not too far in this game for the ARs. I like certain spots, like if you do play like Dome and you go on those top railings in the map and you shoot across there, a lot of times those will count as long shots. If you're playing in the house and you're shooting out of the middle lane to middle lane, those count as long shots too, I believe, for the ARs. But there's a lot of long shot potentials in this game, which is really good. And I'll have some clips on the screen for you guys to kind of give you an idea of certain areas where long shots are really good. The next one for strategic camos is the Berserker camos. These ones are really, in my opinion, they're a pain. These are close range kills, referred to as point blanks. At least I think these are, yeah. So in order to get these, I believe you have to get point blanks. They might have just changed it though, because I thought this said point blanks, but now it says close range kills. So you might just have to be within a certain distance of certain players. I would have sworn this all said point blanks. So that might have been patched in an update. I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, generally point blanks is definitely going to get you that close range kill. Again, small maps, you know, just trying to, you know, flank around the enemies, you know, working from behind them and just getting as close as possible to them and just getting the elimination that way will definitely guarantee your spot in a close elimination or a point blank, which can be really tough sometimes, especially if it's hard to get into the enemy team's spawn and stuff like that. But sometimes there's a lot of maps where there is potential where you can kind of flank around back of your enemies and get the kills that way. But that's definitely a tricky one. I think they did change this though. I would have sworn this said just point blank. That might have changed. Now going into the next category of camos, this is called Wildcat camo. And this is where we get into the category of what I call loadout camos, where you have to have certain things attached to your weapon in order to apply for this challenge. So in this case, it's really easy. It's just you have to have all 10, you have to have 10 attachments on the weapon to unlock these camos. So really easy. You can select whatever attachments you want. You just got to have all 10 selected, and you just got to get eliminations, and you have to get up to 250. So this gives you a lot of freedom to build out the weapon that you want, which is really nice and makes it a lot easier. So those are pretty easy. Survivalist, this one's a little bit different. So this is going to require a certain build and get eliminations that way. And actually, they're more specific. You have to get kills aiming down your sights. So you have to get ADS kills with a particular build, and in this case it is going to be the 220mm rapid barrel, the 7.62 Gorenko 30 round mags, and the VDD 27 precision stock. And to give you guys an idea on what that build looks like, that is going to be the 22mm rapid barrel, so that's going to be the shorter one. I forget what level you unlock this, but this is one that's a little bit further down the line. You're going to need, make sure you pay attention to this because there are a couple 30 round options. It's going to be the 7.62 Gorenko 30 round mags, so you got to have those equipped. And then you have to have the VDD 27 precision stock. And then the sight and the muzzle attachment, grip, all that stuff, and your perks is all optional depending on what you want to run. You just have to have those three selected. This wasn't my favorite build, so those camos can be a little bit trickier. And with that build, you have to be ADSing to get kills, so not too bad overall. So now we are going into the Mind Games camo, which, in my opinion, a lot of these camos look really sick. I like this category. So this is another one that is in the loadout category where you need certain attachments to unlock this. And this happens to be the build right here. You're going to need to get headshots with the 620mm precision barrel, the 30 Russian short, 30 round mags, and you are going to need the vital proficiency perk for this weapon equipped. So as far as what that looks like on this weapon, this is actually a really good build. So that's the barrel you're going to need. Then you're going to need to use the Russian short rounds, the 30 round mag. Make sure you don't have the 20 round equipped and you have the 30. The 30 is a little bit further down the line to unlock. And then for the perk for proficiency, you're going to need Vital. So make sure you have those equipped, and you have to get headshots with that particular build, and you'll be able to unlock the Mind Games Camo. In my opinion too, what I ended up doing with the Mind Games Camo is I ended up throwing a little bit different sight on the STG from what I normally use, and I wasn't doing real good with long shots, so I decided to try and kill two birds with one stone. So I equipped the G16 2.5x scope and try to play like a little bit longer lanes where I had more long shot potential, as this build actually does really good for long shots. And using that build too also got me the Mind Games Camo. So there's definitely some challenges like that where you can kill two birds with one stone, which is great if you can do so. Alrighty guys, and the last camo challenge in the list is going to be the Death Artist camos, which another one I think is pretty cool, kind of a marble looking camo. This is also in the build slash loadout category. We got to have certain attachments on your weapon to get this done. So for this one, it is a particular loadout you have to have and attachments on your weapon. And also you have to get kills while moving. So this could just be aim walking and getting kills that way. That's how I ended up doing mine. I believe hip firing does work as well, as long as you're moving in any sort of way, crouch walking, whatever it may be. You have to get the eliminations while moving and having this build. And the build happens to be the 30 Russian short 20 round mags, the Constance tactical stock, and the pressure proficiency equipped. We have the .30 Russian short 20 round mags, and make sure you're not using the 30 round ones. They want the 20 for this challenge. The proficiency, we have pressure equipped, which is faster reloading while injured, so make sure you have that on. And then it's going to be the Constance tactical stock. But once again, in my opinion, this is a pretty decent build as well, and this is probably one where you can knock out a couple birds with one stone, but not too bad. And you just got to get kills with this weapon or something close to this. You can use any sort of muzzle attachment, under barrel. Just make sure you have this mag, stock, and proficiency equipped, and you just got to get kills while moving. So for that particular challenge, I kind of like picking some kind of longer lanes and just really pre-aiming a lot of spots, and just making sure that I am aim walking or doing, something of that nature. Or if I am flanking behind somebody, I'm, maybe crouch walking and getting the elimination that way. Just make sure you're moving while you're getting those kills, and that challenge is super easy as well. So with all of those challenges complete, all 10 camo challenges, you will unlock the gold mastery camo for your AR, and in this case I was doing it on the STG44, and this has been a lot of fun actually. And grinding camos in this game doesn't seem too bad compared to like Black Ops Cold War. There were some challenges in that game I really had a hard time with, especially when it came to point blanks were tricky. A little bit trickier than this game, just because I feel like the pace and the player movement was a little bit slower. It's hard to really run at people like you need to get point blank, or get around everybody very quickly to sneak up on them. And then getting kills while being detected by equipment or affected by certain equipment or tacticals, some of those challenges were. Luckily that's not a factor in this game either. I think they did a really good job with these camo challenges, and they're not like super easy to where it's boring, but there's some on here that keeps it pretty interesting, which I really like. That is my guide on how to get gold pretty quickly on an AR, and in this case we did it on the STG. If you guys want to see some more gaming videos when it comes to Call of Duty, probably some upcoming videos on the new Battlefield coming out, Halo Infinite. There's a lot of really cool titles coming out that I really want to get into. So if you guys want to see more videos like that, make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing. As always guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.